When it comes to Medicare supplement plans, every state has its own unique rules and plans in many situations. And not knowing these important factors for your unique state can create a lot of big costs in the future and also surprises. So let's talk about how to get this one right when you first join Medicare to avoid those surprises in the future. I'm Emily with the Medicare Coach, an independent Medicare consultant who have helped over 100,000 people all across the country, including my parents, easily make their right Medicare decision to protect your healthcare rights as well as your retirement savings. So let's hop into this video and walk through what the state rules are to be aware of as you're approaching your Medicare decision. So we're going to talk specifically about Medicare supplement plans. These are also called Medigap plans. And these plans are important because they protect you financially. When it comes to Medicare, especially Medicare Part B, that covers most of your medical expenses. However, it only covers 80% of your expenses. So these Medicare supplement, also called Medigap plans, come into play to protect you financially. I cover this in more detail in other videos, but that's why we have these plans, and that's why we're going to talk about them in this video. So there's two important things to be aware of when it comes to Medigap plans on a state-by-state basis. So Medicare on a national level has standardized rules which apply to all 50 states. However, certain states can decide to slightly change their rules. So there's two things that states can change. The first one is the overall standardized plans that they do offer. And the second one is unique rules around guarantee issuance for your Medicare supplement plan. So let's begin with number one about the standardized plans. So Medicare has set up standardized Medicare supplement plans. They have determined what the plans must cover or does not cover. Again, those plans are listed by letters. It starts with Medicare Part A as an apple to Medicare Part N as a Nancy, okay? Now, most people joining Medicare in 2026 as I record this video are joining either Plan G, Plan N, or High Deductible G. There can be some exceptions to that rule though. But here's the thing. If you live in Minnesota, Massachusetts, or Wisconsin, those states have overridden those standardized Medicare supplement letters. So they will not have the standardized letters that every other state has. They'll have their own plans that are different and unique. But again, you will not have the standardized letters if you're in Minnesota, Massachusetts, or Wisconsin. All right. Now, you can still use these plans in all 50 states and all the U.S. territories. But again, the plan that you pick is usually based on where you live, where you file taxes, but it can be used across all 50 states and territories. So again, if you are in a state that's not Minnesota, Massachusetts, or Wisconsin, you will have the standardized letters that are likely going to be Plan G, Plan N, or Plan High Deductible G. Now, the second unique thing when it comes to states is that some states have amended the guarantee issuance rules. So, on a nationwide basis, Medicare has said when you first join Medicare Part B, as in boy, you have a 6-month window where you are guaranteed a Medicare supplement plan no matter what your pre-existing conditions are. However, if you attempt to join a Medicare supplement plan after that window, they can deny you coverage, and if they don't want to cover you. So they're going to ask for your health history. They're going to look for, are you a diabetic? Do you have health issues? Do you have heart issues? Do you have autoimmune issues? Do you have cancer? Do you have a hip replacement? Any of those things could actually impact if a plan takes you. So this is why it's so important to pick that right Medicare supplement plan when you first join Medicare. And this rule, this initial 6-month window, is absolutely true for almost all 50 states. There are only 3 states that give you more wiggle room in the future to join a Medicare supplement plan if you are not already in one. So if you're in New York, Connecticut, or Massachusetts, you can join a Medicare supplement plan at any point in the future, no matter what your pre-existing conditions are. So that rule is great because you can get coverage, but please know that plans in those states tend to be much more expensive than any other state. But again, if you're in New York and Connecticut or Massachusetts, you can easily join a new supplement plan, switch to an Advantage, or supplement any of those things. But all other 47 states have some type of rule that still makes it important that you pick that right Medicare supplement plan when you first join Medicare. But they're kind of two different rules that can give you some flexibility. So I call it mid-flex, and it's in Washington State. So as of now, Washington State says, okay, look, as long as you're in a plan, as long as you're in a supplement plan B through N, right? B as in boy through N as in Nancy, you can switch at any point in time throughout those letters. So it is easy to go from B to G, G to high deductible G, N to high deductible G, N to G. You can do any of those things in those letters. Again, what is critical though is that you first join a Medicare supplement plan when you first join Medicare. If you've been on Advantage for a year or 2 years and you want to come back to supplement plans, this rule will do you absolutely no good. It only helps you if you were already on a Medicare supplement plan. Now, there are other states, there's probably about a dozen of them, who either have a birthday rule or an anniversary rule. They're not as flexible as, say, Washington State's rule, but what this birthday rule or anniversary rule tends to tell you is that you can move between companies. You have to usually keep your letter or go to a lesser value letter, which people don't usually want to go to a lesser value letter. They usually want to go to a higher level letter. But you can at least switch companies without going through medical underwriting. So you can go from a plan G at Blue Cross Blue Shield to a plan G at UHC. You can go from an N at Cigna to an N at Aetna. You can do those types of changes, but again, it doesn't give you options to kind of change your level of coverage. So again, those low flex rules, it does give you some wiggle room, especially around companies changing their premiums. But please know that you at least have to be on a Medicare supplement plan eventually to get those benefits. Now, in every other state, you have to go through what they call medical underwriting to change companies or to change letters when it comes to Medicare supplement plans. So they will ask you for your health history. They're going to ask you usually for your doctors, and then they're going to review your case, and if they'll either approve you or they won't. Most of the time, we find that our clients are not approved when they try to switch plans. And that is because if they see any type of red flag, they're going to deny you. I had a client who was a marathon runner. She was very healthy, but she took an eye drop. And that one eye drop made her uninsurable to make the change. So again, in most states, this is important, number one, to get in a supplement plan if you want to have that at any point in time in your life. But two, we want to be thoughtful about the plan or the options that we have around changing Medicare supplement plans in the future. Medicare supplement plans are not part of Medicare's open enrollment period, so you need to get it right the first time, or at least know if your state has unique rules. That does give you some extra wiggle room. So I know Medicare is a lot. The government does not make it easy, but Medicare can be great when you know how the system works. So make sure you follow along for more inside tips, and I will share extra resources down below to make Medicare simple and easy for you. So here's to helping you easily make your right Medicare decision.